After testing the Xiaomi Watch 2 Pro, I realized that there are very strong Samsung alternatives. The TicWatch Pro 5 from Mobvoi is another potential alternative. It has, for example, the biggest battery among all Wear OS watches. In my previous video, I compared the Xiaomi Watch 2 Pro with the Samsung Galaxy Watch 6 Classic. The Watch 2 Pro won the battle, so let's compare the Mobvoi TicWatch Pro 5 with the Xiaomi Watch 2 Pro and see if it is better or not. And because it is wintertime here in the northern part of the globe, I will show you how to connect it to Zwift, the famous cycling simulation app. The watch looks very nice. I got the sandstone version, which is not a common color, and as I have a clear skin, there is less contrast between the watch and the skin, which I prefer. The build quality is nearly identical to other watches, such as the Xiaomi Watch 2 Pro or the Samsung Galaxy Watch 6 Classic. It is strong, well designed, and the crown makes the watch easy to use. If you have a look at what is inside the watch, the chip is the same as the Xiaomi Watch 2 Pro, the Snapdragon W5 Plus Gen 1, which will grant you a fast navigation in the menus. And the size of these two watches is roughly the same. There is one little point which I prefer. If you swipe down, you get access to settings and other options, and if you swipe up, you get notifications. This is the same as other Wear OS watches, whereas it was the opposite with the Watch 2 Pro, and I always make the mistake. Just to know. The size of the screen of the TicWatch Pro 5 and Watch 2 Pro is roughly the same. The brightness of the screen seems to be just a little bit under the Watch 2 Pro, but I think it is bright enough for outdoor use. There is a good reason for that. The screen switches automatically into ultra-low display mode to keep more battery. In this mode, you have most useful information such as date, hour, step, battery, heart rate and compass. And even more, the background of the watch in eco mode will change according to your heart rate. This is a fantastic idea, and because of this dual screen, I will give the point to the TicWatch Pro 5. Mobvoi 1, Xiaomi 0. Indoor, the TicWatch Pro 5 has an outstanding accuracy of less than 1%. It is better than any other smartwatch I have already tested, even just a bit better than the Apple Watch SE2. As you can see on the graph, the heart rate measured by the watch matches perfectly with the Polar Edge 10, which is known as the most accurate chest strap on the market. The watch is a very good choice for indoor training, for example with Zwift. If you want to get heart rate measured by the watch in Zwift, you will have to download the app HR2BP Watch by Computer. Then, grant all permissions and enable BLE broadcasting in the settings. If you are on a Windows PC, select the Bluetooth connection and avoid the connection through the companion app. And you should be good to go. In addition, HR2BP Watch by Computer has a power estimating feature, which is based on heart rate. This means that you will be able to ride on Zwift just with your watch and your phone, no matter on which exercise bike you are, because no sensor on the bike is required. I tried the watch as well on a road bike. Like many other watches, it is not as good as indoor. As you can see on the graph, when the heart rate gets high and increases rapidly, the watch could sometimes be completely off. The accuracy here is 18%, which is not as good as the first Pixel watch with 13% and far from the Apple Watch SE2 with 2%. But it is on the second place among all Wear OS smartwatches I have already tested. It is a bit better than Samsung Galaxy watches. I think the drop of accuracy on a road bike may be due to the fact that the watch is big and, for this reason, more sensitive to vibration, especially since I have a small wrist. The Watch 2 Pro has an accuracy of 25%, so the TicWatch Pro 5 is here the winner. Mobvoi 2, Xiaomi 0. Unlike the Watch 2 Pro, the watch has a private resolvable address. which means you most likely will have to use an INT Plus dongle if you want to connect your watch to Garmin or Wahoo head units with the app HR2VP Watch by Computer. I already did a video on this topic with the Samsung Watch. The process is nearly the same with the TicWatch Pro 5. In fact, the Watch 2 Pro is the only watch I have seen with a static address, allowing heart rate direct broadcasting from the watch to the bike computer over BLE. So, the TicWatch Pro 5 corresponds to the Wear OS standard, but Xiaomi gets the point. Mobvoi 2, Xiaomi 1. The GPS of the watch is perfectly fine. There was no big loss during the ride I did. Here is the TicWatch Pro 5 in green, Watch 2 Pro in red, Karoo 2, which is my head unit, in blue, and Samsung Galaxy Watch 6 in white. As you can see, sometimes the Watch 2 Pro seems a little bit more precise in the curves. It is hard to beat the Watch 2 Pro here, which is as accurate, sometimes even more accurate, as the Karoo 2. So, the TicWatch Pro 5 does the job perfectly well, but Xiaomi gets the point. Mobvoi 2, Xiaomi 2. The battery life of the watch is insane! It is not 1, not 2, not 3, but up to 4 days without having to charge the watch. Of course, it depends on what you do with the watch, but usually I can use other watches during maximum 1.5 days, such as the Xiaomi Watch 2 Pro. The total capacity of the battery is 625 mAh, which makes it the Wear OS watch with the biggest battery as of today. Mobvoi 3, Xiaomi 2. The charging speed is very good. It is a wired charging process, which I find more efficient than wireless charging. Although wireless charging can sometimes be more practical because you can do it with your smartphone. I tried to compare the charging speed with the Xiaomi Watch 2 Pro. It took 31 minutes for the TicWatch Pro 5 to get from 15 to 80%. The Watch 2 Pro, which has an outstanding charging speed, went from 15 to 80% in 18 minutes. However, the capacity is not the same. If I take into account this aspect, the TicWatch Pro 5 can get 780 mAh in 1 hour versus 1070 for the Watch 2 Pro. Still, 37% faster. In any case, it is much faster than Samsung watches with their wireless process. 1 point more for Xiaomi, Mobvoi 3, Xiaomi 3. I didn't like the sleep tracking feature of the Watch 2 Pro. Here, the TicWatch Pro 5 does better, with complete data about heart rate, SpO2, respiratory rate and even temperature during the whole sleep. I still prefer a little bit how data is displayed on the Samsung watches, but the difference here is much smaller than with the Watch 2 Pro. And here again, I have nothing to compare with, so I have no idea about accuracy. Mobvoi 4, Xiaomi 3. The Watch 2 Pro has something more, Google Assistant. Personally, I never use it, but this is something important to know if you care about it. On the other side, I find that the TicWatch Pro 5 has a better integration with Strava. You can pair your accounts. Every exercise that you do natively with the watch will be automatically uploaded to Strava. As there are advantages and drawbacks, 1 point to each. In terms of price, the TicWatch Pro 5 comes at $350, which is more than the Watch 2 Pro at $259. But there is currently a Black Friday deal with 30% discount on the TicWatch Pro 5, which makes the watch price at $245. With this discount in mind, both prices are nearly the same. At the end, the TicWatch Pro 5 gets more points. So I think I would recommend this watch, especially if you are focused onto sports and outdoor activities such as cycling. Because of its screen, battery life and heart rate accuracy, I think the TicWatch Pro 5 is probably the best Wear OS smartwatch out there, especially for sports enthusiasts. Let me know in the comments what you think about this watch and which watch is according to you the best wearless watch on the market and why. And like Libby Larser, the famous composer, said, "The great myth on our times is that technology is communication. With this watch on your wrist, you will be ready for today's world." Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you want to see more reviews, and I will see you in the next video.